This is a 10-year-old raid, so this is not like a modern, scaled or modern, power curve kind of a raid. So we're actually going to do this on Epic Elite so that everybody can get maximum favor. And don't worry, we're going to be able to handle it just fine. I wouldn't take us into Epic Elite if I thought it was going to be a problem. There are mobs in the first room. Be careful not to aggro them. Please just step in. No stray shots. Just please step in and don't move. And we're all in here on our legendary characters. The level cap was actually 28 when this came out. So this was designed for a time gone by in DDO's history. Please don't move. You could aggro the first mobs. Let's go ahead and get some buffs here. And we can go ahead and kill the first group of mobs in a moment, and then we'll explain how things work after that. Oh, and I gotta figure out corner assignments, so please stand by. Okay, we're all in. Let's go ahead and kill these first group of mobs. These are just trash mobs, devils. In the next room, there's gonna be some ballistas firing at us that are being operated by some tieflings. Just kill all that stuff. No big whoop. In fact, I want just the new players to step forward so you can see what it feels like on Epic Elite. Only the new players. I want only the new players. Go ahead and step forward. High Lords, hang back. So you can see what these mobs feel like on Epic Elite. So Hand Like Feet, Big, Aurora, Tanzia, go ahead and step forward. I just want you to see what these mobs feel like on Epic Elite. See, not too bad. You guys did that. Let's keep going. Exactly, not very hard. I didn't, if you're nervous about Epic Elite, I don't want you to be, because like I said, this is a 10-year-old raid. I wouldn't take you in here on a teaching raid on Epic Elite if I thought it was going to be a problem. Now, just a fun little point of fact, if you can actually operate these crossbows, so if your friends come in late, you can actually shoot them. It's a lot of fun. See, like I'm trying to shoot my buddy Sparrow White right now. All right, so yeah, wait right here. High Lords, you can go ahead and go to the far side because you guys know where to go. But the new folks, stay here, please. Once everybody in the raid gets into this next room, gets past this little gate, that gate will come up and it will never open. Okay, it will never open even at the end of the raid. So it's really important that everybody's in. As long as everybody's in the raid, this gate won't come up until everybody's past it. But like, let's say somebody was entering late, you could lock them out if you were to go past this and they weren't in the raid yet. And once we are all in there, there'll be an ambush that spawns. You can also see that there are Shavroth blades whirling around. Now, I will say that about maybe 10% of the time, there's a bug where the blades don't appear. Is there anybody who cannot see the Shavroth blades that are whirling around? There's like about 10 sets of them. Is there anybody here who can't see them right now? Okay, well, just note that sometimes they're invisible. It's just a bug, no big whoop. But they're always there even if you can't see them. So what we're going to do is we're going to gather on the other side of this big column in front of us, kind of like about a body length or so away from the gate on the other side, because there's a safe lane where the blades won't hit you. Notice that like all the High Lords are over there, and you can see that nobody's taking any damage right now because they all know there's a safe place. And what we're going to do is just stand in a pile and kill everything there. But, go ahead. If you're new, go ahead and, get hit by the blades. I want you to feel what that feels like. You can step out there and get hit by the blades. See what that feels like. In fact, you can go ahead and run over to where the High Lords are right now. Okay, and then once I get past that, it'll start. Once the ambush is over, that's when the main part of the raid happens. Okay? There'll be a pause before the end fight, so we'll explain the end fight separately, but I'm going to have to basically explain the rest of the raid now. So once we kill the ambush, and there's going to be a pit fiend, which is the big red devil guy, and there's going to be like hellhounds and devil, orthons and bearded devils. Make sure you're standing where everybody else is, Tansia, so you don't get hit by the blades. Once we kill the ambush, the far gate will come down, and then that's going to open up into a big rectangular zone. Everybody's going to be assigned to a corner. So I'll be in the northeast corner with Tansia and Hand-like Feet. In the northwest corner is going to be Soulmind, Aurora, and Big. In the southeast corner is going to be Freshly, Twiz, and Voight. In the southwest corner is going to be Bolo and Nastasia. Okay, so, Tansia and Hand, you can just follow me. And then Aurora and Big, just follow Soulmind, okay? That's after we kill these first, there's going to be a couple of Abishai Executioners. And I'm going to have to explain the raid as we go at that point. But, so right now, we're going to kill an ambush, and then we're going to step through the gate, kill a couple of Abishai Executioners, and then go to our corners. Historically, this raid was super, super laggy, but the lag has long been fixed. It's usually not a problem, but I do remember doing this one time last year, and it got pretty laggy for a little bit, but we were still able to complete. Sometimes there's mobs that are on the other side of the column here that don't want to aggro on us, so I was just going over and bringing them over. Once all the mobs of the ambush are dead, that gate will come down. We got one more Archon. Okay, through the gate, there's going to be 2 Abishai Executioners. We need to kill them as fast as possible. Then proceed to your corners. Okay, and those directions are according to the map. So I wrote in party chat where everybody's supposed to be. There are Shavroth blades. So watch out for them. And you want to hang out on the ramp in your corner. So let's see, somebody's missing in my corner. Tansia, you should be in the northeast corner with me and Hand-like Feet. And we got Trash in the north. So both the northeast and northwest corner goes into the center room. The room in between us, and kills Trash. It's all dead. Now we go back to our corners. Okay, so the reason why we want to hang out on the ramp is so that way we're off the floor and away from the Shavroth blades. The Shavroth blades will not travel up the ramp. What we're doing now is killing alternating waves of Trash, which are called reinforcements, and Abishai Executioners. When the Abishai Executioners spawn, there'll be a DM message, and we got to go find them. They're kind of randomly located. Another archer has fallen. That means Abishai Executioners. And people are calling out the corners that they're in. The south teams will help each other, and the north teams will help each other. But don't,
What's the center?
North teams to the center. North teams to the center. There's Abishai Executioners out here. There's going to be 2 pairs of them. Always 2 pairs of Abishai Executioners, except for the final round of Abishai Executioners is going to be 3 pair of them. Did we get both? The other one's under the bridge in the north. There's another one under the bridge in the north. Okay, it's now dead. Now go back to your corners. Everybody back to your corners. So it's just going to be Executioners, locate them, kill them, back to your corner. And then reinforcements. Locate them, kill them, back to your corner. And we're going to go through like 10 rounds of that. And this is the main part of the raid. The end fight is super, super fast. It's going to take longer to explain the end fight than it will to actually do it. The reinforcements always spawn in these portal rooms up the ramp. If you go to the top of the ramp in your corner, you see there's a portal in the middle of it. Reinforcements always spawn there. You'll know there's reinforcements in the zone because if you look at the quest box in the upper right-hand corner, you see it says reinforcements is 0. They always spawn in groups of 4 or 8. If it's 4, it'll be 4 in the north or south. If it's 8, it'll be 4 in the north and south. Abishai Executioners just spawned. You can also see there's a big light beam and reinforcements in the north. There'll be a big light beam where the Abishai spawn. And notice that there's a timer when the Abishai Executioners spawn. It says 28 seconds, 27, and it goes away. When that timer goes away, you'll know that there are no more Executioners in the zone. Back to your corners. If the Executioners are not killed in that time limit, then we lose an Archon. So thematically, what's happening is like Devils and Archons are battling each other in the sky. And as the Archons fall, they literally fall out of the sky. And that's where the beam of light is, the yellow beam of light. The Abishai Executioners are like sent down to finish them off. So we have to kill the Abishai Executioners before they kill off the Archons. If we lose 5 Archons by not killing the Abishai Executioners quickly enough, we automatically fail the raid. Notice it says Archons defeated 0. Okay, another Archon has fallen. That means there's two more waves of Abishai Executioners. They're in the center again. North team to center. And under the bridge again. Note that the Abishai Executioners have a very, very short leash. They will white dot out very quickly. So you don't want to pull them far away from their spawn point. You need to basically kill them, you know, very close to where they spawned. So if they're in the corners, you can bring them to the bottom of the ramp nearest to where they spawn. If they're in the center and they're on the ground, you can bring them over to the bottom of one of the center ramps. Everybody should go back to their corner now. This is a hurry up and wait raid. Mobs spawn, you got to locate them quickly and kill them quickly. Then go back to your corner. And you just keep doing that over and over and over. Again, we're on the ramp so that we're off the floor and not getting chewed up by blades. Alternating rounds of Executioners and reinforcements. Reinforcements spawn from the portal rooms. If at any point there are 12 or more reinforcements in the zone, we auto-fail the raid. So reinforcements must be killed quickly. And so because both of the failure conditions are the result of not killing mobs quickly enough, you can imagine if you're lagged out, it's very easy to fail this raid. Center again, north team to center. Because if you're lagged out, you can't kill mobs, right? And if you fail the raid as a result of not killing mobs very quickly, lag is, you know, devastating in this raid. Okay, Executioners are dead. Reinforcements north. Reinforcements north. The reinforcements don't have a short leash. They can be dragged out of that room. And sometimes it's convenient to do that. Like, let's say you're struggling to find the Executioners. You know, you could drag the reinforcements out to where the Executioners are. But you cannot drag the Executioners far away from their spawn point. So for those of you, like, if the Executioners spawn in the corners, they will white dot at about the point where they enter the reinforcements rooms. The portal rooms, right at about the top of the ramp, they'll start white dotting out. So they have a very short leash of approximately, I don't know, maybe like 60 feet. My attention is mainly focused on the folks that are learning their raid in person, but I will be watching Twitch chat and answering viewer questions when I can. So if anybody watching has questions about Defiler of the Just, please let me know. Also, would love to hear from viewers. Have you ever done this raid before? Are you new to or still learning it? If you could write that into Twitch chat, that'd be cool. Reinforcements are in the center, north team to center. Notice that they keep spawning in the same location. In each instance, they tend to spawn in the same few locations, but the next time you do this raid, it can be completely different locations. Reinforcements north. Reinforcements north. Wildfire is learning watching. Thanks for saying. This is an old raid, but the loot is actually pretty decent level 26 gear. the gear for this raid was updated a few years back and is actually pretty decent for its level at 26. When this raid came out 10 years ago, the loot was phenomenal. I mean, it was like best in slot. I replaced like half my gear on both my main tunes when this raid came out. And honestly, this raid was the last time that I was really excited about raid loot. There was so much gear in this raid that I wanted, and nothing has even come close. Like, yeah, there's been a piece or two that I wanted in other raids since then, but nothing like this one.
Northwest.
See the light beam in the northwest. North teams go to northwest. Both the Abishai Executioners and northwest. And they are dead now, and we go back to our corners. Now we got reinforcements in the south. We know they're in the south because it says reinforcements 4, and they're not in the north, so therefore they must be in the south. North teams, just go back to your corners. Note that you probably will never see this raid done this way again. This is just the way we do it in my guild. If you join a pug, it's probably just going to be everybody run around and hope that enough people are in the raid that know what they're doing to find the stuff and kill the stuff quickly enough. But the reason why we do this corner method is because we have eyes on as much of the zone as possible. Like, we can pretty much see the entire zone if we have people in every corner. And we've been doing it this way basically ever since the raid came out. Can this raid be soloed or duoed? It can, but you need to be able to locate the mobs quickly and kill them quickly, because as I said, there's 2 failure conditions and they're both the result of not killing mobs quickly enough. So when those Abishai Executioners spawn, you've got 1 minute and 20 seconds or whatever it is to find 2 different pairs of Abishai Executioners and kill them. So you got to be quick. You got to be really... It can be soloed. I do have a video of soloing it, but it's a really good idea to be very, very familiar with the spawn locations of the Abishai Executioners, because you do not have time to run all over the place. You know, you need to know their common spawn points and check those very quickly, and you need to be able to move pretty quick too. So if you can run fast, or if you've got wings or something, that's going to be really helpful. When we get to the end fight, High Lords, I do not want to kill the boss right away because I want everybody to see what the bombardment looks like. So just a heads up, do not kill the boss. Yeah, Pit Fiends are awesome. They remind you of Harry from the Shroud, right? If anybody has any questions about this raid, let me know. But this part is, like I said, it's just going to be 2... It's going to be 2 pairs of Executioners and then 4 or 8 reinforcements. The final pair of Executioners will be... The final Executioner wave will be 3 pair. If you do not kill a pair of Abishai Executioners in time and we lose an Archon, for every Archon that's defeated, there'll be an evil Irenes in the end fight that will fly around and pew-pew at us. Northwest. But they don't really do much damage. Those Irenes in the end fight can basically be ignored. They just pew-pew at you.
Trust both sides, I think.
And center.
Reinforcements both sides. And north team back to your corners. Okay, we're going to have a few more rounds of this, a few more waves, and then we will go to the end fight. Please gather outside the end fight. I will need to explain it. There are no shrines in this raid, but there is as long of a break as you want between this part and the end fight. The end fight won't start until somebody enters the end room. And after we finish this wave, we're going to do a walk around so that the new players can see what the whole zone looks like. But basically, the entire zone is just like each corner is basically the same as every other corner.
It's final wave. Final waves up. Throw up.
Final wave south. Everybody south. There'll be 2 of the red pit fiends in the final wave. Okay, this part is done. High Lords, you can gather outside of the end fight. Everybody else, just do a walk around the whole zone. Everybody else, just do a loop around the whole zone. If you're new to this, I want you to see what the whole zone looks like. Note that Abishai Executioners sometimes spawn in these little side cubbies. There's cubbies around the side, and you can't see them from the corners. So if you struggle finding the Executioners, make sure you're looking in these side cubbies that are in the east and the west. They can spawn under the bridges. They can spawn in the little corners next to the bridges in the center. Like right here, Executioners can spawn right here, and they're kind of obscured. That can be difficult to see them. But yeah, it's basically just a big rectangular zone. Every corner is basically the same. All right, to go to the, and once you've done a walk around, you're going to go to the east, up the ramp, and gather where the High Lords are. Any questions about any parts of this raid so far? We have all the time in the world at this point. The end fight won't start until we go past this gate. Any questions so far? The end fight is like 30 seconds if you just go in there and kill, but we're not going to do that. Because I want you to see that if you don't kill the boss in 30 seconds, she's going to do this bombardment attack. And she's going to put like big orange crosshairs on the floor, and that's where the bombardment's going to happen. I have found that the bombardment doesn't line up with the crosshairs very well, so even if you're not in the orange crosshairs, you could still get hit by it. It's fire damage, so if you have like fire shield or something, that's going to be helpful. So here's how the end fight works. We didn't lose any Archons, so there won't be any of the evil Erinyes flying around pew-pewing at us, but if there were, we could basically ignore them. But we won't have to deal with that. Once we first step in, there's going to be a big purple worm that'll spawn right in the center of this next room. We're going to try to kill that as soon as possible. About 30 seconds after we step in, the boss, which will appear right in front of the cave. There's a cave in the center of the room across from us. The boss will appear there. The boss is also an Erinyes. And hopefully we'll have the purple worm dead by then. We should be able to kill the purple worm very quickly. The purple worm will do a breath attack, and will put a cone down on the floor, like a neon cone, indicating where its breath is going to hit. Traditionally, that breath weapon did a lot of damage. By today's standards, it might not be a big deal. Just letting you know, if you want to avoid the worm's breath attack, stay out of the cone if you see it. So we're going to go in, we're going to kill the purple worm as fast as possible. Then we're going to go over to the cave, and normally you'd want to kill the boss as fast as possible. Most groups, as long as you have a reasonable amount of DPS, are going to be able to kill her within 30 seconds before she does her bombardment. But because this is a teaching raid, I want you guys to see what happens. I want you to see the bombardment, feel the bombardment, so because I don't want us to just go in and kill her right away, and then you join some pug and that happens, and you're like, I don't remember this. This is like in our teaching raids, we want to show you like, as much of the raid as we can, show you what happens when things go wrong, etc., etc., etc. Any questions about any part of the raid or the end fight? Remember, we don't want to kill the boss so we can see the bombardment. Okay. Let's do it. Purple worm's going to be right here in the center on this side of the lava. See the boss Eudoxia? She's already there, but she won't activate for about 30 seconds. Alright, kill the purple worm. Easy peasy. Go ahead and go over to the boss. She'll go down just about as quickly. Do not kill the boss. Do not kill the boss. Also, for what it's worth, a safe spot from the bombardment is up above the cave. There might be other safe spots too, but I do know that this is safe up here, right where I'm standing. So if you want to try to get up here, do not kill the boss. You could do light DPS to her, but do not kill her. Because I want you to see the bombardment. When the bombardment happens, it'll happen every 30 seconds, and she'll call for reinforcements. There'll be a bunch of trash mobs to deal with, pit fiends, maybe even horn devils, and other devils as well. But if you're new, come on down. I want you to feel the bombardment. I want everybody who's new to get hit by the bombardment. So you can see this is what it feels like when doves cry. I mean, on Epic Elite. It killed me too. See, it hits pretty hard. I'm not trolling you. These teaching raids, we want you to experience this stuff now so you don't get surprised by it in a pug. Alright, let's keep people raised. Go ahead and kill the boss. Great job. High Lords, thanks so much for helping out. If anybody has any questions about any parts of this raid, there is a shrine at the end when the boss is dead. Help yourself to the loot, guys. That is it for today's event. That's a pretty quick one. Next week is going to be Temple of the Deathworm and Fire on Thunder Peak. I'll post details in the Sarlona forum on Monday night. Anybody get any loot? Oh, got Sightless. Big grats. It's a pretty good con and sheltering item for level 26. Many hooked greaves Twiz got. Strength 13 at level 26.